if that's okay with everyone, because we only have an hour. And actually, I just want to heads up for tomorrow. Okay. So let me share my screen, actually, if that's okay. Hey, Marco, I feel like I haven't seen you in so long, but it was probably like 2 days ago.
Hello, hello.
Okay. All right, so just a quick intro. This is now our third one, so we've done it twice already. Really what we want to just do is make sure that the processes we're following, the collaborations that we're doing are working, and we can continue to do better and better each one. So what I'll say we start with, because I don't want to take too much time with this, and I haven't exactly found the best way to close the sprint, since we do the review separately as part of our community sync. But everyone, please take a moment, look at the sprint board, look at what you've committed to in the beginning of this sprint, and where you were able, like how far you were able to get. The things that you weren't able to finish, just ask yourself why. I will start with myself, because I really did not get to finish the things I wanted to do this sprint. And I do have the reasons why, and I know why. And what I want to do is, in my planning for next session, I want to make sure that I take on what I can. And I had suspected that I would have problems with the Steward's Manifesto and finding time for it. And that's where I know I went wrong with that. So we're not going to go around and do it, because I want us to really focus on the retrospective itself, but do take some time. Tomorrow, before our sprint planning, I'm going to clear the whole board. So please, if you can today, take the time to update and close any issues that you have, because today is the official close of sprint 3. And that way, tomorrow, when we clear everything out, we don't need to spend time updating issues or closing issues that have already been closed. The other thing I want to say is, tomorrow I want to give everyone a heads up, because we'll be doing a roadmap to hatch refinement. So we're going to look at our roadmap to hatch. We're going to add 2 more sprints, 3 more sprints, and we're going to sort of refine it so that our new roadmap to hatch is updated with the situation as it is today. Okay, so on to the sprint, the retrospective board. If everyone wants to jump in to the Miro link. We have our sprint 3, we're Pippin. And how this works, for anyone who isn't familiar with it. Oh, hi, TJ Rush. Welcome.
Hey, sorry, Time. Where's the link to the Miro? Sorry.
No problem. It's in the agenda.
It's in the agenda. Yeah, silly me. Sorry.
Everything's always in the agenda with me. Hey, TJ Rush, welcome. We're doing a retrospective for Sprint 3 of the TEC, and you're more than welcome to stay and hang out.
How are you doing? Nice to meet you. Where is the agenda? Is it somewhere in one of these many channels here?
It's in the calendar, the TEC calendar, in the meeting itself. In every meeting, we have an agenda for every meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you on the TEC calendar?
And I can send you the link in Telegram, Jay.
Yeah, I got the calendar invite. Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So I know Jake isn't coming. I think Jess isn't coming as well, and we have everyone else, right? Okay, cool. All right, so we'll start with, okay, so the 3 goals is transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency, we all say what we did, what we didn't do, what we did well, what we didn't do well. We're all transparent with each other, and our processes are transparent. Inspection is to really look at what we did closely so that we can adapt. We'll start with what went well. And the way I normally do this is I set a timer, and everyone can just take a Post-it note, and in the what went well column, just let's celebrate our victories. What have you seen that we've done together as a team that really worked? what do you think the TEC did really well together? And 4 minutes, it starts now. I'll say a minute before when we are at, we have 1 minute left. Does anyone have any questions? All right, let's have some fun.
And my Miro board is blank.
Anything on the TEC or just our working group?
Well, really like the working group, the stewards, other working groups, what you've seen. Is that okay? Can you hear me now?
Is the board supposed to be blank and I'm just starting with nothing?
Should not, Metaverde. Try zooming out until you see what you see on my screen. I'm going to share my screen.
Where is? Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm finding it.
Yeah. You see this bottom corner? It sort of has what's on the board.
Let me look at your screen real fast.
Yeah. So if I zoom all the way out, it looks like this.
Yeah.
And then if I zoom in, we get down to sprint 3.
All right. A bottom board. Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, should we have 1 more minute? If we want to add stuff, we can always copy and paste. No? Okay, we're going to keep going. Okay, should we have somebody read this out to us? Hey, Craig. Craig, how's your audio? Okay, I was going to ask you to read this to us. But let me ask Marco, please. Marco, would you mind reading us everything that we think went well?
Everything, right? hold on. You guys, you can hear me? All right,
Yes.
cool. Okay. So what went well in this sprint? Onboarding each other as hatchers. Post-hatch reward system is coming out of the clouds. The success of the project seems to be on top of any personal disagreements. Teammates pushing hard to deliver, being proactive and responsive. Timing on the calls improved. And tagline, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's really awesome. A lot of engagement from all members. Lots of interest from new people. Stewards are helping each other and supporting a lot. It's so lovely. Much love. Wow. SourceCred is starting to PIP, transparency audit, mobilizing people outside TEC to help. We are moving forward. Manifestos are
Can I
coming.
just say, I think we
back
stopped
to
one
life.
here. We didn't read this one. It's a little dark, but I'll try. It's impressive
Yeah.
how many things are happening at the same time and working well. All right,
Yeah, I
sorry.
skipped that one because I thought that someone, didn't want it to read out. But anyway, okay. SourceCred, manifestos, identity refinement, ending 5 minutes early. Yeah, that's awesome. TC teamwork. Oh, a lot of TC teamwork you've seen in this sprint. There's recognition of the work we've been doing by a larger community. Found excellent people for other groups. That felt really good. First transparency audit. Discord. Yay! Tech Params dashboard team is killing it. Griff, move your cursors, please. I can't read this one. Thank you. Documentation of Hatch DAO is outrageously complete. Got Discord. Yay, Discord again. Calls ended earlier and on time. Params board looks awesome. Initiative to work around obstacles. The new Discord server looks fantastic. Yeah, Discord again. New members joining, new experts in legal working group. That's great. Great progress in Gravity and Curse. Discussion in future contribution with SourceCred. Gravity process tested. It seems to have really met the needs of the community. This is really great to hear. Onboarding working group has really been getting its stride. Yeah, I think that's all. Great stuff. I pass it back to you,
Yeah.
Tam.
Thanks. Yeah. I'd love to hear if we have like 1 minute from everybody, and I'll set a timer for just your feelings around how we did this last sprint in terms of like our successes. Griff, you start and pass around.
My pleasure. It's too much success. I like the card that was saying there is so much going on all at once, and it's really. I would say like so one thing that wasn't mentioned is like I feel like so many birds. I feel like there's been a proof in this like horizontal scaling approach where everyone feels like they have the agency to make decisions and get shit done in their little domain. You know, and that's, I feel like this sprint more than any sprint has really proven that. Legal, tech params, garden swarm, comms, I mean, Gravity is always killing it. Transparency, like every group is killing it. So, and it's just really cool to see. It's hard to even keep up, even in the thick of it, right? I'll pass it to Juan.
Yeah, I think the same. And I also want to highlight the transparency audits, because I think that this is something that is like not so loud, but it's something that is really important and can be like really good for the sustainability of our working groups, and like thinking in long term and in accountability and in like transparency as a whole. So I think it's very important that. And I will pass to Tam.
So my overall feeling is really very similar to yours, Griff. It's every team seems to be moving forward continuously, And there's been some obstacles. People are going around obstacles. People are like crushing, blockers, and it's been really nice to see. I would say I'm not feeling as much that there's new members in the community, but I think I'm a little bit not paying attention to that right now. I'm super focused. So I think people are coming and I'm just not really paying attention. So I hope other people are paying better attention to that than I am. And I will pass to Santi.
Thank you, Tam. I think I'd summarize what Griff said with flow. I can feel the flow as we move and as we progress and as we are things are starting to get together. And it's beautiful. And I think that board reflected what we all feel like. I'll pass it to Libby.
Yeah, I agree. I put that card in there because it just blows my mind every day when I think about it, of like how much is happening simultaneously and how well everything is working. I never seen this happening anywhere before. I'm like the annoying person in my life now for the people that gravitate around me, that I'm the always talking about how exciting it is, the TEC and all of the things that are happening. So yeah, I'm really, yeah, it's beautiful. I pass to Zaptimus.
Thank you, Libby. I wanted to highlight something I think also Tam mentioned is like this sprint there is almost no blockers, because what I'm feeling is like every time someone is blocked, before he even says I'm blocked, there is a bunch of people helping, and that's awesome. I'll pass it to Marco.
Thanks, Zap. I'd just like to echo what Santi said. Like I started also to feel the flow, and that's super important. Supporting each other, and like as Giuseppe said, like no blockers. A lot of stuff is going on. I didn't even know like that. There's a lot of other stuff, in the working groups until I read all these post-it notes. So yeah, being focused maybe on the stuff that I had to do, but yeah, just I would like just to highlight the teamwork here. That I could feel this sprint and the flow that is going, and we should keep doing that and keep improving that to be even better. Yeah. And I pass it on to Meta Verde.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy that that's the experience people are having, and I hope to have that experience on the outro. And I'm really happy that I just broke away from what was buzzing in my ear and making things harder and did the Discord. And I don't know who hasn't gone, but I definitely felt teamwork, but I didn't feel like the teamwork was helping me this sprint. I don't know who hasn't gone.
Craig is the last one to go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I don't really have anything profound. I totally agree with what everybody has said. It's great to see just so much happening, and it's really hard to keep up with, which is a curse and a grace at the same time. Like, just take it in and keep taking it in, and so I feel like I have a little bit of a personal flow, just kind of doing my best to track everything that's happening, and then also working async. So pretty good. Keep it going.
Great, cool. That's always my favorite part. I like these other parts too, but now we focus on what didn't go so well this sprint. And let's, be critical of ourselves and process and see what we can do better next time by acknowledging what didn't work and looking at some of those things. And I'll set a timer again for 4 minutes, and then we'll have another extra minute if we need it. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, cool. Welcome, Eduardo.
Hello there.
If you know where the mural board is, you could just jump right in and get started. We're in the what section, but have a read of all the things that we did well first.
Okay, perfect. I will go to the mirror board. Thank you.
I think Santi's making another TEC hatch diagram inside some of these cards.
Yeah, I'm liking the visuals.
Yeah,
All right. We have
Pam, I request access because for some reason I lost it.
okay, let me get that for you. I see it. You should have it now. All right. How about Septimus? Would you like to read the things we could do better?
Okay.
And maybe, yeah, thanks.
1 second. Okay. Stewards onboarding and offboarding needs work, but Libby and Tam are on top of it. Others welcome to join. Discord migration was messy. Some issues didn't get done. Gravity flow is still unclear, but I trust so much improvement will happen once we gather all the gravitons. It's getting hard to plan calls and hack sessions. Have a clear place to go to contribute and engage. Lack of clear instructions and expected deliverable outcome for certain issues. No response from certain members who were assigned to issues. Planning the sprint more realistically to include impromptu issues that come up. Walking in other person's shoes. Felt like I was micromanaged and not allowed to do my job. It was made far more complicated and tedious than it needed to be. Still a challenge to integrate new members into activities and issues. Something communicating needs more clearly. Each working group has agency, but also we have natural condescendencies. Communicating these needs in a healthy way is important. More coordination between working groups. Community management is everyone's job. Hard to know exactly what to assign to assign contributors. Giving support to Meta Verde. Engaging with the community on Discord. What the tech will actually do could be better illustrated. We need to overcome the collective psychosis around the TEC public goods nature. Yes, you can make money if the tech is successful in its mission. Keeping mindful communications even in distress. Was given jobs, then other people did those jobs, and I was told not to change anything they did. Our roadmap to hash needs to be updated. I could definitely schedule more time in the week to finish pieces of work that need deeper thinking. We could do better at finding ways to interface with new and confused community members. Communication was very slow. Who is and who is not at TE? Token engineering. Yeah, back to you, Tam.
Cool. Thanks for that. Okay, let's do something actually. Let's take 2 minutes for everyone to give their feelings on one or more or their own or other issues. And I will set a timer and start with Juan Carlos. Why don't you start?
Okay. I would say that one thing that I think that can improve is a little bit of like placing ourselves in other person's shoes, because we always see the reality from our own perspective, and always when we see it from our own perspective, we are right. But we have to try to place ourselves in the position of the other to see like how maybe he or she felt, and how like what can be like their interests, their feelings, to like process these possible situations of distress into something transformative and into something nurturing. So maybe I just think a little bit that it's good for us to always remind ourselves that each of us is in a different position, and that maybe one thing that we do without intention can maybe cause a prejudice to other person. So it's always good to be like mindful with that everything that we do has a consequence in the community and over the feelings of other members. And I will pass to Septimus.
Thank you, Juan. The posit that got me more confused is like the one that says like well, I don't find it now, but the one that says like someone was doing work and was not able to, for example, let's say delete other person work. And I think when someone is taking an issue, we should trust him And for example, let's say I did something and it can be deleted, because if the new person think that it can be improved, I don't know. I mean, we don't have to vote for everything, and when someone is taking an issue, I think they should get the agency just to feel comfortable and make it deliverable. I don't know if I explain it well, but that's what I'm feeling. And I'll pass it to Edu.
Eduardo, are you there? Yeah, I'll take it, and so yeah, I think I wrote this really long one about like the fact that each working group has agency, but then also each working group is codependent. We're in a codependent relationship, guys, but it's okay. Yeah, that's the challenge of scaling horizontally, but for one common goal. So it's a challenge. I don't know the best way to overcome it. I do think that we need to somehow find a way to communicate our needs in a healthy way, and accept that we're codependent on each other and we have agency, and live in that like weird like space where we have both things. I'll pass it to Livia.
Yeah, I think we are in a moment to see the limitations of our processes, and this is a good thing, because we are getting to this point of expanding and like touching tangents and seeing how we can like be gentle when we touch on these tangents on each other. And I think it's a great feedback for gravity, like the issues that came up this week, and how can we better approach them. And also, yeah, I think now, sorry, what you said, Griff, brought so many things up. That is this like a distinction of codependency and interdependency. And maybe we are a little codependent now, but I think it's nice to think of a path towards interdependency, where everyone has agency of what they can do, and that is clear for everyone, and we exist in the same environment, collaborating with each other. But there's nothing that one is like I'm not like if I'm dependent on someone financially, then that will harm my agency. But if I have my own financial freedom, and the other person also, but we share things, and then we have a relationship with those shared resources, then it goes towards the interdependency. But anyways, yeah, I'll just pass. I'll pass to Santi.
Thank you, Libby. I think it's just a natural process that we are facing. We're starting to get things together, and things are speeding up. Before, we were working on our working groups, and everything was so apart that it didn't really matter. The interactions were not that big. Now things are starting to get done, and you start to feel that your work impacts everywhere, and the rest of the groups impact your work. And it's a little tougher, but it's also a sign that we're moving forward, and we're getting closer and closer and closer, and it's speeding up, which is it needs to. You need to work slightly different, think more broadly and less on your own group. But it's a good sign. I think it's a progress that we're just going through. So I'll pass it to Marco.
Thanks, Santi. By the way, every time Santi says something, Santi, you read my mind. So basically, I let you speak for myself. So, well, anyway, everything, like all of this is all normal. Like this happens in every team, in every organization. It's normal. We just have to be patient with ourselves and with everybody else, and everything will fall into place. So that's all I have to say. And I pass it to who didn't go? Tam, did you go?
No, I didn't go yet. So I have to say, there's a few things, right? It seems like, I set a timer for myself. It seems like there's a lot of, really, I think was like, we have a rhythm and we have a flow with the people who are working together, and then new people in our community, and especially people that are, coming in and out of the community. They need more, like, I don't know, they need more help in not necessarily how we do things, but when somebody comes and takes in a new issue, it's very hard to know the context and the existing structures. And I think we need to figure out how we can support people who are coming in and taking on issues in a way that will be more effective. And then I would also say around session planning. Some issues didn't get done. I'll take this one specifically. That's normal. That's always going to happen. Some issues aren't going to get done. That's actually not something we could do better. That's just like, that's part of the reality. Sometimes there are things that we've taken on and there are blockers that prevent them from getting done, or other things supersede their priority, and so they don't get done. There are some things that I'm having some tension around. Like there's somebody who feels like they were micromanaged and not allowed to do their job. I don't see that a lot in our community, so I'm super curious about that one. And then response from certain members who are assigned to issues. I think that's tough too, because we're also there's so many of us are also volunteers who come and this might not be their full-time job. So if they don't respond to an issue, you always have to sort of be flexible and find ways to work around it. But I don't know that's something, we could impose on people either. But I think responsiveness is super important too. I think this has come up before, because that's how other people can get their work done, by us being super responsive so people can do that. And my time is up. And I will pass to Metaverde.
I think more than I think that it's important when somebody is given a job to do, that they're allowed to do that job and not told how to do it, and not have the job done for them before it's handed to them. And that's what happened to me with the Discord. And like my initial thing was supposed to be build out the channels and create the onboarding journey. Then I didn't get the Discord until the channels were built out. And Jess and I had conversation about that and she took a lot of the channels out. And then later when I had a conversation with you about it, Tam, you said not to change any of the channels. And then the other part of so that was it. So I was no longer building out the channels. But that was exactly the task I took on, was to build out the channels and create the onboarding journey. Then I got a lot of different feedback from a lot of different people on what the onboarding journey was supposed to be. And before I even had a chance to work on it, I was told that there was going to be a pop-up in the MBA style and all of that. And I said, I raised a couple of things about it. And you said, no, this is what we're doing. And if there's a problem with it, then we can go from there. Well, that's not me creating the onboarding journey. That's you creating the onboarding journey and telling me to do it. And so I don't think that my problem was lack of support. My problem was lack of access and lack of permission, if you will, to do the job that I agreed to do. And I was on the verge of rage quitting, except that I really like Griff and I really like Jake. And what I really want to be in is like developing my dev skills. And I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to quit the project. And I had agreed to build out the Discord, and I wasn't going to quit without building out the Discord, because that is what I agreed to do. So I created a template and built out the Discord. and, you know, got a lot of kind of like sketchy feedback from people, but got thanked profusely by a couple of different devs. So I figured, you know, okay, I'll stick it out and see what happens. And I'm happy with how things are going now. But when you give somebody a job, even if they're a new person, if you don't trust the new person to do the job, don't give them the job. But do not give people a job, then do the job for them, and then tell them they can't change anything about the job you did for them that you ostensibly gave them. And that's really all I have to say about it.
Thank you for your feedback, Metaverde. I'm sorry that this is the first time that we're speaking about it, but and I'm sorry that you feel, I hear you, and I apologize if you feel that I told you you couldn't do anything. The
You
document
told
that
me
we
not to change any of the channels that Jess had put in there. And when we were in the meeting where you presented the pop-up onboarding journey and I raised issues about it, you said, this is what we're doing. And if there's a problem, we can address that later. So don't act like it's something I feel.
Okay. I'm sorry that this is coming up here. I would love to maybe meet with you and Juan, because I have a different perception of how that happened. And I would love to take your feedback and incorporate it into my future interactions with other people in the community. Does that sound good, Metaverde?
I'm not sure at this point.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to keep moving on with this. So,
can I add one thing related to what we could do better? That was another post that no one mentioned, and it was like it's hard to have hack sessions. I guess it's because there is money calls, but sometimes I actually like, for example, I really would love to do a hack session with Libby on the accountability thing, but I was thinking, oh, maybe Libby is too busy and there is a lot of calls, and sometimes, at least me, I don't know where to create those hack sessions, and just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you, Septimus. So my offer still stands. I'd love to speak with you and Juan, and I'm sorry, we're going to move on. Craig, would you like to provide feedback?
No, I'm just in and out. I'm not really sure what's happening, so I'll just stay quiet.
Okay, then the last person is Eduardo.
Hello, everyone. Sorry again to be late. Regarding the feedback for this, I don't know. I felt like basically we are in a journey of not only building a project but also kind of knowing each other. We are in a lot of times in back-to-back calls for a long time, and sometimes we just forget that there are humans behind, and we just forget that there is things going on, and we have each of us our personal life. Each of us has their own things, and I guess this is the cultural build that Griff, when I arrived to this project, he was very clear about it, and he was like, this is very important for us, cultural build, cultural build, cultural build. And I now understand why this is so relevant. And I felt that I'm a very direct person, and I usually not I'm polite, but I'm not usually very patient with things. So this project also has given me this perspective of just go through one or go through processes that has improved my personal aspect. In the professional side of this, I would like to think and sort of thank for everyone in the sense of the feedback, because even if the feedback not necessarily is the one that we want to hear, I think it's and maybe awkward in having usually a conversation that will be one-on-one. Now it's out in the public, and I think that's important for this group to grow. So in my case, and from my perspective, if there's anyone here in this call that have had any issue or have had any situation, like Tam did example before, I'm open to have this discussion through one or one-on-one, because I do feel these situations will come more often as we are getting deeper into launch and getting and so on. So it will be really nice to feel that even if the situation is uncomfortable, we're adults and we have the opportunity and the space to talk about it and acknowledge the fact that we made a mistake or we just were misunderstood, or not, and we can disagree, and it's fine. We can disagree. Like, it's normal that we disagree. So yeah, that's my feedback on in general sense.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. So I see a bunch of people already started. Awesome. But let's take 5 minutes together now. Oh, sorry, we vote now. So we have essentially tried to group these. I tried to group these as we were all giving our feedback into areas, themes of improvement. One of them is really communication. One of them is community, in terms of helping manage the community. And we also have some individual ones too that don't necessarily, maybe this one sort of goes into community as well. All right. Okay, I guess this is communication as well. And I see we have 10 minutes left. Okay, I think we're going to jump to actions so that we can put in actions to improve. And in the last 10 minutes, we will vote on actions. So we have 4 minutes to put in actions that you think can help address one or more of the how we can improve. And our time starts now.
Tam, I need your help here. I don't know. I messed up with Miro board and I cannot type. I'm doing everything except for type. What's the icon I should click? Text?
No, actually, you should just be able to double click with the arrow. So click the arrow at the top, and then you should be able to double click.
There we go. Okay, it's solved. It's solved. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we have 10 seconds. Griff, would you like to read out the actions?
I would be honored. Let me see. So many opportunities here. If someone feels bad, they should explain it to Juan in the gravity type form. Improve individual agency by communicating how everyone is contributing in a certain issue. Commit only to what you can deliver. Update issues in a timely manner. Use GitHub issues to communicate and update discussions. Create issues for contributors. Accept ad hoc hack sessions to unblock a fellow teammate. Create community management working group. Advice process. Use gravity more before reaching points of high tension. When creating, I'm just going to say advice process means when you're making a decision, make sure before the decision is finalized that you discuss the decision with all the stakeholders that are needed. Okay. Use gravity more before reaching points of high tension. When creating issues, provide an extensive description of the task and clear deliverable. Provide all resources, that information required for the assignee to complete the task. Tolerate as much and as long as you can before drawing the line. Have more patience with yourself and others. Keeping mindful communication in distress. Not thinking of a hack sesh as a call in a remote environment. The call. Oh, that wasn't finished, and that was mine. I'm so sorry. Try to do the storyboard exercise again. Calling out relationship problems using the gravity type form. Work more in the interactions between working groups. Ooh. Trust each other. It will work if we trust each other and have a clear goal as a whole. Community team or individual who focuses on this exclusively. A better way to find contributors and get their commitment to work on issues before the sprint planning. Ooh. Oh, there's a couple hiding down here. I feel like most things went really well. It's hard to know how much time different aspects of a project are going to take without a lot of experience time speccing. Some things can be implemented, then approval got after the fact as needed. Like the Discord issues didn't need pre-approval to get Discord up and running. Things that are easily changed should be implemented and then documented once the implementation is agreed on. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's it.
Cool, thank you, Griff. And we have groupings around using gravity, improving GitHub, communication through GitHub, ad hoc sessions, and unblocking things, community management. And if you think you know which group issue belongs in, please grab it. And then 2 stars for everyone on the 2 issues, specific issues, I would say, and the general group. But if you could tag, if you could vote on the specific issue, then it'll be easier for us to actually act on.
That was 2 stars each?
That's right. We had a bunch of stars because we're not really sure how many. So there will be some leftovers.
Yeah, I pulled extra into the space.
All right. And we're at the top of the hour, but I'm going to go with, we have gravity, using gravity more before reaching points of high tension, calling out relationship problems using the gravity type form, I think is the big winner, and advice process. Keeping mindful communication, I think we should just do as a good habit in our life. So I will take these two as the two winners, and I think we can incorporate both into our next sprint. I would say maybe in the sprint planning tomorrow, we process just to be very clear on exactly what it is and how to use it too. And we're at the top of the hour, guys. So thanks everyone for your time and for participating in this, and I hope we get better and better each sprint.